Good morning, children. Welcome to social session. Children, in the previous chapter, we tried to understand how the warriors and chiefs had established control over villages and how the Kakatiyas tried to bring them under their control and built the Kakatiya kingdom with their capital as Warangal. The efforts of Kakatiyas had been come to an end because of the attack by Delhi Sultans. So that was the end of the Kakatiyas who conquered Warangal, and later, that means very soon, after the death of Prataparudra's death was in 1323 AD. So after the death of the Prataparudra, after few years, new kingdoms have sprang up in South India by the famous warriors, from the family of warriors, and they had laid foundation stones for a very large empire. It was not a small one, it was a very large empire. They had laid foundation stone, and one such empire we are going to learn today, that is a Vijayanagara Empire. It's a Vijayanagara Empire, children. I am going to introduce you today about a Vijayanagara Empire. Children, what do you mean by Vijayanagara? Vijayanagara means Vijayam. Vijayam means victory. Nagara means city. So, the city of victory it is called as. It's called as the city of victory. So, it was actually located on the bank of the river Tungabhadra. Tungabhadra flows in Karnataka and a little part even in Telangana. Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. So, on the bank of the river, not the ICICI bank or the SBI bank I am talking about. I am talking about the river bank. So, it was on the bank of the river Tungabhadra. This kingdom has been built by the warriors, by the family of warriors. According to the history, it is founded by two brothers. Who are those two brothers? One is Harihara Raya, and the other one is Bukkaraya. These are the two brothers who founded this kingdom in 1336 AD. It was in 1336 AD, brothers Harihara Raya and Bukkaraya founded this kingdom Vijayanagara with the blessings of a sage called as Vidyaranya. Sage means a Muni. With the blessings of this sage, this famous kingdom Vijayanagara Empire had flourished. And this kingdom lasted for 250 years, children. It lasted for 250 years, though it was not ruled by the kings of same family, but it lasted for 250 years. Harihara Raya and Bukkaraya belongs to Sangama dynasty. Sangama dynasty. These both belongs to a dynasty called as Sangama, and after them there are many other dynasties or many other families which have ruled Vijayanagara Empire. The dynasties like Arikavidu, Arkaviti, Sangama, Tuluva, Saluva dynasty, Tuluva dynasty, and Araviti dynasty. These are the different dynasties which lasted for 250 years. Some of those kings spoke even Kannada, because the present day Karnataka was their location on the bank of river Tungabhadra. So some of their kings spoke Kannada fluently. But Sri Krishna Devaraya, you remember, have you heard this name? Sri Krishna Devaraya. He is a king who gave due importance in his court for Telugu language. Telugu has reached its peak because of Sri Krishna Devaraya. And it is in his courtyard that Ashtadiggajas were present. Ashtadiggajas. Ashta means 8. 8 Telugu poets were present in his courtyard only. Sri Krishna Devaraya. On the north of the Tungabhadra river, till now Vijayanagara Empire is on the south side. On the north of Tungabhadra river, there was some new kingdoms also have sprang up, and one such kingdom is Bahmani kingdom. Bahmani kingdom got flourished in the north of Tungabhadra region, and initially it was a large kingdom with its capital as Gulbarga. The present day Gulbarga in Karnataka was the capital city of this Bahmani kingdom. Later, between 1489 to 1520 AD, 1489 to 1520 AD, in between, it broke into 5 smaller kingdoms. 5 smaller kingdoms. Which one? Bahmani kingdom broke into 5 smaller kingdoms. I am not talking about Vijayanagara, children. I am talking about the kingdom which got founded on the north side of Tungabhadra river. That is the Bahmani kingdom. And this Bahmani kingdom broke between 1489 to 1520 AD into 5 smaller kingdoms. And these 5, out of these 5 kingdoms, Bijapur and Golconda were large parts of the present day Karnataka, Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. Bijapur, okay, and the other one is Hyderabad, Golconda. It's nothing but Hyderabad, Nizams. The Golconda is another important kingdom which was a part of earlier Bahmani kingdom. These kingdoms were ruled by the sultans or by the warriors who came from Iran and Arabia region. The Bahmani kingdom, during the Bahmani kingdom, they came from Arabia and Iran, and they got settled over certain regions and they started collecting revenues. So these people later established their own kingdom by fighting against the Bahmans. All these kingdoms were constantly at war. One kingdom used to fight with another. Golconda used to fight with Bijapur. Bijapur used to fight with other kingdoms. All these 5 kingdoms were always at war. They also tried to recruit local people in order to collect the revenue, in order to keep their army very strong. They used to recruit the people, warriors from the local people, about whom we have read in the last chapter. Even Kakatiyas, the founder of the Kakatiyas, was also from the warrior family. Actually, they were Rattadis. You know it very well. The head of the village to collect the taxes, Rattadis they were. And later they were the Samantas under the Chalukyas, and they established their own kingdom by making Hanamkonda as their capital. So with their help, they tried to establish control over the villages and towns and collected revenue from the farmers and traders. Then how did we come to know about the administration of the Vijayanagara? See children, through the inscriptions present. What are the inscriptions? The written things are called as inscriptions. Through the inscriptions and through the travelers' diary. Who are the travelers? The people who keep on moving from one place to another place and keep on noting the things, travelers. With the help of these travelers, we came to know much of the Vijayanagara Empire, because a large number of travelers visited the Vijayanagara Empire. I read out an entire list of these travelers. The travelers have visited and they have written a detailed accounts of the social organizations present during the Vijayanagara Empire, the administration and particular value of the Vijayanagara Empire. They have noted it down. The travelers from several countries have visited. For example, Niccolo Conti of Italy visited Vijayanagara Empire in 1420. Niccolo Conti. He visited, he is an Italian traveler, Niccolo Conti. Okay. He is Italian, he is from Italy, and he visited in the 1428. And after him, it was followed by Abdul Razak. Abdul Razak visited the Vijayanagara Empire, and he is from Persia. Persia is nothing but the present day Iran. He is a Persian trader who visited in 1443 AD. And another Portuguese traveler called as Domingo Pace. Domingo Pace, he is a Portugal. He visited in the year 1520 AD. It was a period of Vijayanagara Empire was at peak. It is a period of Sri Krishna Devaraya, the king who gave importance to Telugu. During his period, Okay, Domingo Pace, a Portuguese traveler visited, and after him there is another traveler who visited Nunes. Okay, he visited in the year 1537 AD. These all are the travelers who visited Vijayanagara Empire in different ages under the different kings, and according to their notes, according to their deep notes, we have come to know about the Vijayanagara Empire administration and Vijayanagara's social organization. In the next class, children, we shall learn about the city of Vijayanagara, how it was built, and the famous kings of Vijayanagara. After the Harihara Raya and Bukkaraya, the other important rulers of the Vijayanagara Empire are Sri Krishna Deva Raya and Aliya Rama Raya. The last one, the end of the Vijayanagara Empire, the last ruler was Venkatapati Raya. So for about 250 years they have ruled. Their empire lasted for 250 years and later it has come to an end. So tomorrow we shall see about the city of Vijayanagara. Thank you, children.